Spartans! What is your profession? This is Sparta!
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it again with another stream. So please do me a favor. You're coming first time repeaters or just long life subscribers. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. So let's get into it. Of course, before we get into it, let's get the big bubble out of the air. I have two things I gotta say really fast before we get into the show. One, please stay tuned to the end of the episode. I have a big announcement. I can't say it right now. I have to say towards the end because it's gonna blow the surprise. It's a surprise coming for a long time. It's something that is going to be changing on the channel. So please stay tuned towards the end. I promise you, it'll be worth the wait. It's something big. It's something great. Second thing is the Jets game is winning. I'm very happy because my Jets are winning. I did not expect them to win. They're only in the second half right now, and they're winning. So this is why I'm representing the Jets shirts. And if you think anything else, to you then. So simple as that. Jets are winning. I am very happy right now. So the topic of the night is going to be: are you ready to be a father? So I didn't realize how big a topic this is going to be. So, look who jumped in the stream. Hey, Mariana, what is going on? Hopefully you're watching the Jet game because they are winning and watching us, of course, at the same time, like I am. I didn't realize this is going to be as big as a topic. When I mentioned it about a couple of days ago, Sunday actually, people were like emailing me like crazy, like, can I join? Can I join? Can I join? Like, anybody's allowed to join. So this is what I'm dropping the link right now. So if you want to join, you know the rules. Camera up, mic on, and join the combo. So, are you ready to be a father? Father is a weird word to me because I didn't have the great yes, Mariana, go Jets, Jets. Yeah. So, all right. Let me correct you how you're supposed to say it. It's supposed to be Jets, Jets. That's how you're supposed to say it. So, but me and my father never had a great relationship. It wasn't bad. It wasn't toxic. But in his defense, he never knew how to be a father because he didn't have a great father when he was growing up, because his father died very young. My grandfather died very young. Um, he doesn't even remember him that much. He was very, very young when he died. So, so he tried. My father was more the provider, not the father figure, and that's okay. When trying to be the father, it was a little bit too late, dude. But I still gave him a chance. And I have mentioned this in other streams, on the gray area, on my other shows. I have mentioned this multiple times. Again, my father's not a bad person. He's not a bad father. He wasn't ready to be a father because he did not know how to be a father. So, the question of the night, are you ready to be a father? So, if you're ready to be a father, please tell me in the chats. Are you a father? Were you ready? Are you ready now? Or you think in the future you're going to be ready? Because a father is a life changing experience. Absolutely. Listen, guys, I don't have kids yet. Keyword yet. One day I'm hoping to have little junior Spartans running around biting people's ankles. But in my defense, I haven't had kids for a reason yet. I want to hold off to find the right person. And that's my prerogative, the way I do it. Filling with responsibility, love, and challenge is a emotion you have to mature enough. You have to put them up front first. You gotta forget, damn, I have to watch the game, or I have to go hang out with the boys, or whatever the case is. You forget everything. Going to that kid's football game is more important than anything. Watching the game, with them is more important. Going to judo class is more important. And I've mentioned this before. I'm gonna mention it again. The two people that I take what's the word I'm trying to find the right word, a role model for me is Paul, who's my co-host, usually. Hopefully he shows up tonight. I know he's a little busy with work, but he's one of my I've seen how his marriage is and how he raises kids, and it's motivation for me. Is motivation. I want to be as good as him. So, as a friend, I want to make him proud, make him very proud as a friend, because I want to be when time comes. I'm ready. The other two people, actually, I forgot. I said two. I meant three. Is CQ. He was on the show, interviewed recently on the gray area. I gotta give him credit. When his credit is due, as a father, he's a great, great, great father. I see him when he's around his kid, and as a husband too. I wish I could fill his shoes. I really wish. When that time comes, I wish I could be half the man he is. So, that's why I am trying to be the greatest. Again, 1 second. So, the other person is King. I see him how he is with his daughter, and again, is motivation to me to be as good as him, and he is. I remember when I was on CQ runs two shows, Pop Culture Warrior and GTA Dave. Is it GTA or TRA or something like that? Hang on, let me look it up because it's bugging the crap out of me now. Because he runs two. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. My homework wasn't done correctly. Where is it? Do apologize of me being unprepared. Where is it? FTX. It stands for front table extreme, something like that. It pretty much would play games. And I was up there playing with them when I was with them when I'm on my vacation, when Paul took over the show that day, and did a great job in my opinion. And his daughter was sick a little bit. It was under the weather, and he literally, I gotta go, guys. And gotta credit to Jenny, his wife. Like, she was like, yo, you continue playing. I got this. And that's not his daughter. Her daughter, he doesn't have to. I gotta give her respect for what it's due. Hats off to her if I was wearing a hat. So it was seeing that stuff is motivation for me to do good, to do better. So we have to do better for the next generation. One thing I've been saying for a while, and I'm gonna continue saying it, is when kids are having kids, they're not ready. When they're having kids at high school or in the 20s, they're not ready usually. Mature level, they're not mature enough. They're not ready for that. So you have to be able to put them up front. When I see people having kids and they don't want kids, they want workers cutting the grass, taking the garbage out, cleaning, cooking. And I'm like, but what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I worked all fucking day, man. Yeah, what's your fucking point? I work too. Okay, I take care of a mother downstairs. Who's able? Probably should be able to do stuff if I wasn't around. But again, that is my issue with some parents. Is some fathers, they want workers. They don't want, like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to play with you. Fuck you, dude. Play with your fucking kid. Play with them. Have fun with them. Enjoy the time with them, because it's not gonna be a long time. Before you know it, that time will be gone before you know it. And then when it's gone, it was gonna be, you're gonna regret it. And you was like, shit, I wish I had the time with my son. Fuck you, dude. And you wish you had more time with him. And unfortunately, when the time is gone, it's gone. And it's only one time you're going to get that. And you're not going to get it again. And that is a sad thing, is you're not going to have more than one time. It's a one-time thing. When the time goes, and that's it. It's when you can't turn time back because you don't have a time machine to replace it. Spend time with them. Play football. Play soccer. So that where the maturity comes in. You know, the responsibility. Provide support and guidance to the child. Be ready to meet the role. The teacher, wiser, acknowledge them, give them information. Maybe one thing I realized when I was a sensei is when I used to talk to the student like this, you know, looking down to them or try to give them talk, it didn't ever work. But when I took a knee and get down to their level and talk to them on their eye level, it was a whole different experience. They realized very easily, oh, he knows what he's talking about. And that is a huge difference when you actually are talking to somebody. Get to that level. Get down there and have the conversation with them. As simple as that. And if you don't get to their level, you're not going to really get anything. Listen, let's be honest, guys. Fathers, at the end of the day, are human like us. They are going to make mistakes. There is no book here that says, hey, this is what you need to do with your child. There are books, but not specific for your child. So, by you doing what you need to do, it's very, very important. So, where did I leave off my notes? The person you need to grow into is a person who's going to make sacrifice or going to go to the extreme, the next level when it comes to the fatherhood. So I made this very public before. I dated a few women with kids. One of the relationships I dated, she had 4. One was older. She had a very young age. The other 3, when I walked into that house, that was chaos. It was anarchy. Everybody was doing whatever they wanted, however they wanted. There was no rule set because she was working on. Okay, I'll care with that. And when I came in, I put structure. There were curfews. You had to be home at a certain time. You know, chores were done. Take the dogs out. You know, The youngest one was staying up all night long playing video games and couldn't get up for school. I'm like, this needs to fucking stop. Like, Vern, I couldn't fucking sleep and get up to work the next day because he's screaming at the fucking Xbox. So when I found out he was skipping school because he couldn't get up because he's playing late, that's it. I had enough of this shit. I literally walked in his room, sat down in his bed, and had a conversation with him. Listen, I want him, bud. We have two options here. Option A or option B. Option A is the easy way or the hard way. The easy way, you're going to turn off your Xbox. I give you between 11:30 and 12. I think that's a decent time for you to be done. Then, or hard way is you continue staying up all night and not take your goddamn Xbox away. He tested me. Big mistake. Don't test me. So his Xbox got taken away. And I have a kind of a system of Wi-Fi that I can control everything through the phone. I'm not sure the technical terms of that. So, guess what? Went on my phone. Turned out the fucking Wi-Fi. At a certain time, it gets turned off. I remember his brother yelling, "Oh, what the fuck, man? I'm not a kid anymore." I'm like, yeah, you are. You're not mature. My opinion, again, and people are going to fucking hate for me this, and that's fine. You can hate me for saying this. I would say it out loud. At 21, 20, 19, 18, I know my lawyer says you're an adult. I think it's bullshit. I think they need to change that. Your mind does not mature enough till you hit 25. I was not mature enough when I was 25. Excuse me. When I was in my early 20s, 21, 22, 23, and so on. When I hit 25, I started maturing a lot. I realized, holy shit, I'm a different person now. Actually, I'm going to use Mariana for example. Me and her were actually having a conversation the other day. And she said, you have changed a lot in 2 years. To the point I don't recognize you. And that's what I needed to do, to change who I am. I had to change my mindset. I had to change the way I was doing things. Listen, if you're doing the same thing every single day and it's not working, you got to change something. And guess what? I had to change something, and I did. Very simple. And it took time, and I figured it out. Some people are fans of it. Some people hate it, and that's okay. You don't have to be a fan of it. So let's see where we're at here. Not only a child is looking for your wisdom, your exception, and that's a big thing. Every child, in a way or a shape, way or form, is gonna look for your exception, to be the father you need to be for him, to be the person you need to be. So here's a couple of questions I'm gonna ask the guys when I come in. How do you feel about idea being responsible for another human life? That is the question. How do you feel as a man, as a father, as an adult? You are responsible for that human life. If you fuck up, he gets fucked up in the head or in life. You are responsible to make him a mature person in our society, the next generation, the new society, let's say it for now. You are responsible for that, not the other person. If you're fucked up in the head, you need to fix that before you bring a life in this world. People always ask me, why haven't you have kids yet? One reason is I don't want to bring somebody in a fucked up situation. I want to bring them in to a healthy situation, a family situation, a roof under my, all kids under one roof. And we don't do that. I see so many parents or just in a relationship, and because the guy didn't want to use a rubber, and guess what? Now she's pregnant. What the fuck? What are you surprised? If you're man enough to lay in bed with her, and she's woman enough, you guys need to figure that out. Not fighting with cords. You, as two mature adults, can figure that out. If you're not mature enough, you should not be laying with somebody in bed, and you know the outcome may happen. Are you emotional ready for a child needs over your own? Like I mentioned before, emotionally, you need to be ready. Like the kid coming running up to you, like, I need help with my homework, or I need you to take me, I need to show you this karate move, or help me throw the ball, or whatever the case is. You need to do all that. If you don't do that, that is an issue. That is a big issue with me. I see men neglect their own child because they're too busy playing Xbox or PlayStation, or they're too busy hanging out with the boys, or or I do understand if you have to work overtime. That's a different story. You're trying to put food on the table. That's I'll give you a freebie. On that one, I'll give you a complete freebie. But it is your responsibility when your child needs something from you. You put your needs last. You're tired. Suck it up, buttercup. Simple and say, just suck it up. Because we're all tired. We all work out crazy hours. Like, you might have a physical job like myself. I'm a chef. I'm on my feet 40, 80 hours a week. Doesn't mean I'm going to neglect my child. I use Alex, for example, my dog. He has needs. When I come home, I got to walk his ass. You really think I want to walk him? I wish I had, Bruce Willis, do one of these things, and he gets up, he jumps on the toilet and does his business on the toilet like human beings. But reality, that's not facts. I have to walk him. I have to feed him. I have to train him. I gotta play with him because if he doesn't, I don't play with him. He gets all bored and starts breaking and ripping shit. But I have to do the things, and he knows it's time to play. When I come home, my routine with him is, I check on my mother, make sure everything's okay, go through the mail, whatever I need to do. I walk him. After the walk, he's already been fed by that point. Usually my mom feeds him before I come home. And then I play with him for 30, 40 minutes. Then I go shower and do my thing. Tonight is stream night, so I showered and came on right on here. As I was watching the Jet game, by the way. Just saying. Let's check the score really fast. 0 was winning. No, it was on break. Never mind. Anyway, but we are guilty, very guilty as human beings, as men, to neglect our kids because we're tired. We this, we're that. We make every excuse under the sun to not do something with our child. And that annoys the shit out of me. Because it takes only maybe an hour. When I see Ezekiel always playing with his son, I'm like, yeah, that's what a father needs to do. We motivate him, push him. That's what you need to do. You need to motivate that child. You need to push him. Like he's in football, for argument's sakes, no fun intended, and he's not tackling hard enough. Show him. Or if you never play football, motivate him. Come on, buddy, hit hard. Come on. Those things are a huge difference. If you don't do it, that is an issue, a big issue. All right, let's see where we are. What is a role that you play in a child's life? That is a big factor. Yes, studies have been proven of a kid grows up better when it has both parents in the house. But unfortunately, that does not always happen like that. So what can we do with a situation you're being given to? Oh, man, that is a difficult one because you need to figure that out. How can you make it work, whatever falls in your lap? You're going to have to figure that out one way or the other. Because end of the day, that is your child. That is your blood. That is your offspring. Whatever comes that way, those roadblocks, you have to figure that out. You and the mother, you need to figure this out together. There's no three-party, the judges, all that stuff. Fuck that. I get annoyed when I hear that, to be honest with you guys. Because you guys have mature enough to have a kid. You guys are mature enough to figure this out. Yeah, sometimes you guys don't agree. Figure out how to agree with him. The child should never see you guys argue. As a man, that's the last thing you need to see. Your father arguing with your mother over money or custody or this or that. No, you should never have that. How would you balance fatherhood with your career or personal goals? That is a good question. How can you balance that? That is a very good question. It's very hard to balance life sometimes, even with no kids. Imagine you have kids, that's even harder sometimes. So, your career does not come first for your child or your goals. Let's be honest with you. But when you have to work overtime, I get it. You have to work overtime to put a roof over your head. Maybe you want to work overtime so you can buy your son a special gift for Christmas or his birthday. Okay. Or take him to this concert or to an event or to something. Whatever the case is, you have to find the right balance. Yeah, work some overtime, but make sure you spend time with him. Make sure he understands why. And we have a comment coming in, and from Alicia, it says, sometimes you have no control over how the other parents act. And that's true. You don't have control. But it's still, I believe it's still your responsibility as both adults, both parents, to figure that out. Sometimes you can't control it, you're right. But you have to try your hardest to figure it out. I'm not talking about abusive relationships. That's a whole different animal, a whole different topic. I'm talking about two adults who did have kids and did not work out, and they have to go their separate ways, and that's nothing wrong with that. But you need to figure out how can you make it work. That's what I'm talking about tonight, as a father. So back where I was saying is now with your personal goals, whatever you maybe you want to go to the gym, you want to play football on the weekends with your guys, or you have a hobby. Balance it out. Why not bring your kid with you to your hobbies? Maybe teach him. But Pete, you can say maybe he's too young. Okay, I'll give you that. He's too young. So, but make sure after you spend time with them, figure out whatever the case is. You need to figure that out. Are you prepared to handle the challenge and the sacrifice that comes with a parent? So let's tackle that one by one. The challenges. There are going to be challenges. Well, first of all, we got to talk about different generations here. Was our parent was on here actually? The different challenges are very hard for us because the reason it's hard because how can I put this in the right way? The generation I grew up was a little different. Like we were not glued on our phones all day long, or Facebook, or Twitter, or whatever the case is. We went out and got go to the mall and hang out and did stupid shit. Now kids are mostly with the tech. That's what they cared about. So that's the different generation. That's a challenge. You're gonna have to break the barrier and figure out how can you get through to that child as a father. Hard love works sometimes. Except, they're like, oh, it's too cold to go outside and play. Like, fuck you. Go outside and play in the snow and fucking get cold and get sick. That's part of being a kid. I hate seeing that, but that's part of being a kid. Getting sick, getting hurt, breaking a window, whatever. And that's part of being a kid. I'm not saying having your kid being a juvenile, breaking shit, stealing shit. I'm not saying that. If they're playing soccer and the ball bounces and he broke a neighbor's window by accident, that's an accident, obviously. I'll give you this scenario, for example. You have these Karens. No fun intended. Anybody who's named Karen out there. Who, well, I was watching this video the other day, a short, and Karen came over and started knocking on the door. And, oops. My dog's freaking out now. So, this Karen says, I'm from so-and-so association in the neighborhood, whatever. The kids get me obnoxious. Like, the guy goes, dude, they're being kids and playing. I'm gonna call cops. Like, go ahead. You can't tell my kids not being kids. They're playing. I don't want them inside playing video games all day or doing shit. I prefer being outside, running around, playing tag and doing whatever. Again, they're being kids. And that is a great scenario. Not everybody's gonna accept it, and that's okay. They don't need to. As long as you know deep in your heart you're doing the right fucking thing. You're doing the greatest thing you can. You should be happy with yourself and be great about it. Make sure you do the right thing. Make sure you're being the right person. Make sure you're doing that. As long as you're doing the right thing, that's all that matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you're questioning it. Not question. It doesn't matter what other people think. If you know deep inside you're doing the right thing as a father, everything else is mindless. So, now sacrifice. You might have to give things up. Let's be honest. You might have to. Like, I was talking to I guess buddy, Angry Elf, and he told me he had to sell a good chunk of his collection. He's a big Star Wars freak, as much as I am. I think he's in the next level. He collects like crazy, but as a collector, he had to sell some things off so he can take his kid to vacation. Okay. He was kind of bittersweet about that. Like, he was okay letting it go because he wasn't really displaying. He didn't have the room for it, but he didn't want to give it up either. So when he made that sacrifice to make sure he sold that stuff, I was in the right price to be able to take the kid on his kid on vacation. That's the sacrifice he made. This, that is one of 100 different examples. What kind of sacrifice you have to make? You might have to make a sacrifice what time you go out, or missing a game, or not going to the gym. There's so many different sacrifices there are out there. But are you ready to make it? That is the question. Are you ready to make that type of sacrifice? Sometimes you're not, unfortunately. Sometimes you're not ready to make that sacrifice, but you're gonna have to, like it or not. Where are we? What are your values? How do you plan to install them into your child? So everybody has their own values and their own way of seeing things. So you have to see your value a certain way. You have to make sure, let's say you're, I don't know, like me, I'm a big religion person. My values came through God mostly. So my values are a certain way. How long do you push that on them? Again, the generation thing does play a role here. Because the values, how we see things and do things, are not the same as they do. It's completely a different animal. Like, going out and having a drink didn't make a big deal about it, but now most people don't do that shit anymore. Or, staying home and just playing video games to be by yourself and card games versus playing online. I know there's a stupid example, but I'm trying to get to the point. The values are different now. So to install those values into your child, it is different than it was before. So you have to keep that in mind. Values are not the same like they used to be. They're completely different now. How do you feel a sleepless night? That's right. Sleepless nights, attention to your baby's needs, your child and infant. Listen, I heard enough horror stories over the years. Again, I don't have a child that young yet, but I've heard of stories when you first have a newborn. Man, the first few months, you might not get any fucking sleep. You're like, you gotta get up and change the fucking diaper, and get up and give him formula. You gotta get up and see what's wrong, whatever the case is. But are you ready? I know this is a comedy, but I'll give you an example. I love Lucy. This is one of my favorite comedies. I know it's old, but I still laugh as motherfucker ass off. But the thing I remember in one episode when she had little Ricky. So the agreement between her and Ricky is whoever wakes up first is gonna take care of the needs of the child. Okay, and both of them are pretend they're sleeping, so don't have to get up. And that's all she wanted, a little help. Remember, even the mother, as a father and a husband, they need a break too. Go out with their girlfriends, get their nails done, go out have brunch with somebody or whatever they need to do. That's they need a break from every day too, and that's where you step in as a father. Like, hey, I got this. You do you do you. I'm cool with it. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to be able to do that because they are going to go crazy. If she's a stay-at-home mom, that is even worse at times. Uh, Financial stable supporting a family. That is a hard one because everybody's financial is different, and it's different because of obviously line of work, what you do for work. Maybe you're one of those guys. He didn't want to do a college thing, whatever he did his own thing, and he didn't go to school. He just picked up, jobs here and there, trying to figure out life. All of a sudden, he's a father. Figuring life out is going to end really fast. You got to figure out how you're going to support the child. So the financial part is very serious because it can make you or break you in any kind of relationship. You have to make sure you're somewhat stable. If not stable, at least a decent job. Knowing how to, bring money on the table, put a roof over here, put food on the table, bring that green. That is very important. How do you understand that? How do you handle stress? And are you patient to stay calm when you're acting like a parent to your child? Stress is can kill you literally, or it can be great like this. That's all stress. This is all stress, all the gray hairs. And again, it's nothing wrong about being stressed out, but you have to understand how to handle it correctly, to do it the right way, to do it the proper way. How do I handle stress? For example, again, I don't have a child yet, but if I did have a child, I'll have time for myself after he goes to bed, playing little video games. That stresses me out. Or talking to the missus, tell her how my day went, and vent. Or hitting the punching bag, whatever that case is. There's always time to figure out how to de-stress yourself. You have to figure that out. Here's a good one. How would you handle a situation? Your child and a teacher. Right and wrong. I say, you got called into school because the child was being acting out, whatever. But you sound like, wait a minute, that's not my child. My child doesn't act out. Whose side do you take? That is a really hard question. Do you take the teacher side that you don't know shit about? Do you take your kid's side? It says, hey, I got you, kind of thing. Whose side do you take? That is a catch-22 because they can go either way. A lot of teachers might expect you to take their sides, and some other teachers don't. I've seen it both ways. And it's a weird one because maybe at home he acts one way, but when he's around his friends, he acts like I'm big shot. I can be cool around my friends. And that's not the way to do it either. What kind of relationship do you want to build with a child as he grows older? The best relationship I have seen with people's kids is where their kids is more their best friend. They do things together, playing soccer, going throwing the ball, playing video games together, building Legos, building the mom kid. They find bonding things they both enjoy doing together. Whatever that is. If even they say use YouTube, maybe they both like YouTube. Like they do a channel together and talk about different generations. I'm just giving ideas out there. Or they like playing video games, playing Call of Duty together. Or they build a Lego or puzzles or whatever it is. Working on their cars. Having projects together. Whatever that is, find the project. Find the bonding part. So when he gets older, the father and son thing's still there, but he's still your father slash best friend kind of thing. How do you feel about changes in your lifestyle according to the kids' needs? That is a rough one for me because I'm so used to my routine at this point. But I had to change my routine at times. I had to change how I do things because of a relationship or because of doctors or whatever the case is. I'm not a fan of changing my routine. I like my routine. I way to do it because I do things every single day the same way. And we need to continue doing what we need to do to make it work for us. And that's where things have changed, like watching the football game or soccer or hockey. I watch it every day, every Thursday football, and I'm like, what the fuck? I haven't changed my routine. What the hell? Yeah, you have to fucking change your because you brought my fucking child in this world. You're responsible to change what you need to. If I had a child and I had to change, let's say I couldn't do my stream tonight. I know very well if I put up a cancer stream, I have to do something with my child. You guys will understand. Like you said, yo, he's doing the right fucking thing there. End of story. No questions about it. And it makes it night and day. Night and day. That is the biggest thing. Let me just check one thing for you guys really fast. Let's see. Actually, I've got to send this link to one person. Like a dumbass I am. Oopsies. Let's see. Anybody else I miss? I think that's it, actually. Not mistaken. Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure now. Anyway, what was I saying? Let's try and thought now. Let's get back to my questions. Be better. Here's a good one too, and this is like a big one I see a lot around. Are you comfortable being a role model to your child? You need to ask yourself that. I cannot answer that question. I cannot make a comment about that because you have to answer yourself. Are you comfortable enough to make yourself a role model? To make your, whatever the case is. He's like, maybe you're success for your line of work or you doing, going to the gym. Whatever the case is, the kids are going to look up to you. Just, wow, I want to do that. I want to go, lift, weights with daddy. Oh, I want to go work with daddy. Or I want to own the business. He's going to look up to you. So the way you act around other people, he's going to pick that up 100%. Just remember, just be aware how you act because you are his role model. He looks up to you. The way you act and treat people, even his mother, if you're with him or not, that's the whole damn story. He's going to look up to that like, oh, that's how you're supposed to treat women? Let's keep that in mind because you don't want him saying you called her, say, stupid, for example. Maybe you were just joking around. But guess what? That joking around can go a long way. Next thing you know, he's calling his mother stupid. then you hear that like, what the fuck? I see these shorts all the time. These guys playing pranks on their fathers, like, oh, mother asks, like, take the garbage out for me. And he goes, do it your fucking self. And then next minute he gets up, like, what the fuck did you just say to your mother? Like, they don't fuck around. That's how it's supposed to be. Like, yo, if you talk back, no, you're getting backhanded. I'll be straight up. I'm not. I know you're not supposed to hit your child by law, whatever. But if you talk back to his mother, I'm gonna back slap you. Simple as that. Like it or not. Most people don't believe in slapping, but sometimes a little slap in the face doesn't hurt. Even a little pepper in the mouth, the old school pepper in the mouth. Who remembers the pepper in the mouth when you were a kid? And was the only one, or you guys get the ball of pepper, and as you're talking about, you just shove it right in your fucking mouth, like, oh fuck me. That was the worst for me. Oh my god, I remember getting pepper in my mouth all the time. I hated the pepper in my mouth. It was like, some people said, they got soap. I prefer get soap over pepper in my mouth any day of the week. Any day. I prefer pepper. Pepper will be literally like poison to me. I think that's why I hated pepper for the longest time. Okay, what were it? Okay, balance. We kind of spoke about it before, but I'm going to bring it up again. Is a healthy balance between work, personal time, and family. By family, I mean like every child you have, the wife, and everything. You need to have a great balance for that. Because most people have the child, they're okay, that's it, I did my job, I'm married now, I'm cool. No, fuck you, no. You need to make sure you take your wife out to a date night once in a while. Or, spend time with her. And then spend time with the child. Go to the movies. Like, my thing with my father, one of the few things we did have thing going on, is going to the movies every other Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't, what was it, every Saturday? I remember it was Saturdays. Didn't matter if it was every other Saturday or Saturday. But we used to go to the movies. That was our bonding time, was going to the movies together. And I always looking forward to it. The only thing my father hated is watching, anime movies. He hated watching those movies. If it wasn't an actual movie, he would not sit down and watch it. I'll be straight up with you. Like, a lot of kids went to see Lion King, or The Little Mermaid, or Hercules. Yeah, my father would never go see that. No. Until even this day, he won't even bother putting that on. Even if it was something like that, he would still turn the channel off, like, fuck this, I'm not watching this. Nope, I'm good. So you need the right balance. Balance with the missus. Make sure you take care of her needs. Whatever you can go food shopping with them, or going to a dinner night, a date night, whatever. Make sure you have time for them. Make time, specific time, just you and your child. Playing football, playing video games, doing a puzzle, making a model, whatever that case is. Have the time together. Then have the time for all three guys together, or 4 or 6, or how many you guys are. Maybe every Friday night you guys order pizza and watch a movie, or every Friday get food from outside, sit back and watch a game or something. Whatever the case is, make sure you have that bonding time. That is very important. Where did I leave off? Skills. What are the skills you're most comfortable about? And what would you pass on? Let's use your professional skills first. What are you good at? I'm good at cooking. Yeah, I would love to teach my son or daughter how to cook. I'm not denying that. But would I want them to do that for a living? Probably not. Because I know there are other careers out there. But whatever makes them happy end of the day is what they need to do. If they're happy they're happy doing, I don't know, being a cab driver. Okay, that's what they like. Give me one second. Sorry about that, guys. Making sure people are actually going to show up. It doesn't look like it for some reason. I guess this was not an important topic like everybody else was making it sound to be. Let me actually reach out to one person, see if he's coming on or not. Because he never replied to me. See if my SOS helped, because this conversation would go a lot better if I had a little more feedback from other people. Again, guys, the link is in the chat, so I will put it down again. Whoever likes to join us, please be free to join us. It's going to be a lot better conversation, just me talking. So, again, be free to join us. You're more than welcome. Again, cameras up, mic on. If you don't want to have your camera on, that's fine. I just need to see you in the background to make sure you're not trolling me or anything like that. So be free to jump on anytime you want. The link is in the chat. Where was I? Nope. FY, just got the score. Just hit another touchdown, so we're doing good in that part. So skills. Except having my work skills, I have other skills too. Like be able to talk to people, be able to help them out within their need, make sure they're okay, or if they need, whatever the case is, make sure I'm there for them. And you need that right person. Always need that right person to talk to. CQ and King are my guys. Paul, another one. Those are my three guys. Black David, again, another person. There are my guys to go to talk to. I need somebody to talk to because that's how I vent, to be honest with you. When I'm stressed out, I vent. I talk when I'm stressed out. Because sometimes you can't shut me up. That is the biggest problem. But you need to have that person to talk to. It's so good to have that person. Teach them. It's okay to express your feelings. It's not good to hold everything in. Any kind of skill you can teach them. Help them learn how to change a tire. You know how many people now these days don't know how to change a simple flat tire? It's so bad. You need to know how to do that. Because it's so important to know how to change it. Trust me. You don't want to be that guy on the side of the road scratching his head like, how do I change my tire, man? Or change your own oil. Or even check the oil. They don't even know how to check oil, some of them. Put a freaking washer fluid. Those are, they might say, oh, come on, Pete, that's easy. Yeah, but that's still a skill, believe it or not. It's a simple skill. Take it in, pour in. I was talking to somebody recently that their daughter is dating somebody. I don't want to say any names because I don't want to put their business out. But what I can say is, the guy works 3 jobs. Okay, cool. I understand he works 3 jobs. Okay, whatever. But when he's off every weekend. He doesn't know how to cut, even start a lawnmower. I'm like, seriously? A leaf blower. I'm like, really? Leaf blowers are not that hard, to start. They're very easy. That's why I have my dad. Okay, what happens if your dad is away on vacation with your mother? And that's another question. Like, seriously, if your father wasn't around for some reason, let's say he's away. And here's another one. I do it myself. But why not take your child and help him? Teach him. Like, yeah, that could be the part of the chores. Okay, I'll give you that. But why not show them how to do it? Show them how to cut grass. And, I know this. I'm not even joking. I know kids who don't even know how to start a lawnmower. Choke, gas, pull. It's not that hard. Maybe not in that order, but you get what I'm trying to say. Or they don't know how to. Trying to find a better one. Put air in the tire. Very simple, air in the tire. Everybody should know how to put air in like freaking tires. Because you can say, oh, I can stop in a garage. What happens after hours? What are you gonna do then? You should be able to put air in the tire, or hang up frame. I hear all that. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, are you serious? It's not that hard, man. But you tell them open me, create me a new Facebook account. Oh, they're on a white on rice. Literally, they're white on rice. They can figure that out. And you telling me they cannot figure out how to do a simple tire or a simple brake or whatever the case is. All right, let's get his ass in here because I know he's itching to get in here. What up, my man?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Before you say anything, I have something I need to tell you personally. All right, everybody, get ready on the keyboards. All right, David,
Yeah.
happy birthday, Grandpa.
Haha.
Seriously, happy birthday, my brother. Seriously,
Thanks. I appreciate it.
you probably feel very ancient now, don't you? Not old, ancient. Keyword.
No, I'll be honest with you. I was just stressing myself out all day today. I wasn't even thinking about my birthday.
Good
That's
stress or bad
all.
stress? It's two different things.
It's more of a bad stress.
Can you
My
talk about
thing
it
is,
online, or you need to talk offline? That one.
it's more so an offline thing, but how would
Okay.
I put this? I've been a person who hold myself accountable and responsible.
Mm-hmm.
But when things are not going the way they're supposed to go to, I stress myself to a level whereby I shouldn't do that, but it put more stress on my body to the point where my nerve started to hurt. I never felt that much pain in my body in a long time, but it felt like it almost like. And people telling me, calm down, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's not easy when you have lived your life as a responsible person and never get up a break. I'm a father, I'm a grandfather,
Great grandfather too.
haha. But I take responsibility to the extreme, whereby if I'm not stepping on the plate, I'm not happy with myself. So
So, will that go with our topic tonight? Are you ready to be a father? You think?
Ah, it's highly the best question to ask because I have a severe level of pet peeve when I see people out here willingly just spreading their seed like it's no big deal, just popping out kids
Mm-hmm.
and act as if that's not the responsibility. That's the environment of wrong way because my father did that. My dad was a Rolling Stone. He feel like he don't have to take care of no kids. I'm the complete total opposite. I could kill it with my siblings say or would lie to tell to himself, but I know the unfiltered truth about it. This man would take care of other people's kids, but never take care of his own. He'll use whatever he can just to do his own thing.
So, I assume as a father and a grandfather and a great grandfather, you take things a little more serious than your father did. I assume, right?
Pretty much. Because of what he did, I hold myself to a higher standard. I like you cannot be slacking off, you gotta be responsible, but you gotta be consistent about it. Not just throwing your steam, make your father high, you utilize what is considered to be a blessing. You shouldn't right from what you be consistent, there's no flip flopping.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are doing that, I give my hat off to them. But for those who are looking for excuses not to do it, they deserve to get a choke slam. But my thing that I had a friend of mine from my former church who asked me that same exact question. And that was about almost a decade ago or so. He called me to the side. We were both in the truck. We used to be like doing church in the school building. And he asked me, what is it to be a father? And I was like, is this something that you want to do? He said, yeah, but what did not do? I said, mm-mm. I said, being a father is the biggest honor you can ever have.
Totally agree,
You
100%.
are you are given the honor and the opportunity to not only mold a life, to also guide a life, to coach it, to be the source of information and reasoning, to share a level of insight and morality. Being a father is not so simple, just okay, wham bam, thank you. No, 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 no. That seed that you put in that woman that being fought out, you are connected to that child, either you like it or you don't. What you do with that child said a lot about who you are. I remember, like what yesterday when my son was first born, I was there. I held my son. I watched him when he was being born. I cried. It was the biggest thing in my life. Held my son. I was singing to my son. I was singing praises to my son. I was in the right God. I want to be able
Hmm.
to my mind. I was like, this boy surpassed me and beyond. I don't want him to go through what I go through. With my daughter, I was laughing, happy for joy. I take fatherhood so super serious. I'm able to pay close attention to my kid personality and their pattern from birth. I'm able to pay key detail that some parents don't want to do or too lazy to do to understand your kids are not going to be the same. They have their own unique traits. They have their strengths, they have their weakness. You know how you can push them to overcome the weakness. You know how to be consistent, not be flip flopping. I did the same thing with my grandkid. I get on one time there was an incident that happened. My daughter thought I'm some wizard. One of my grandsons had autism, which I understand. He was acting out. "Ah." I like Eli. I mean, no, not Eli. What is his name?
Jesus
I don't want to
Christ.
make a mistake because that's my son name. I was like, nope. I said, come here. This is not yours, right? I understand that. If you want something, you ask, right? Don't do this right now. Then stop the crying. We cool? I give him the fist bump. Now the boy understood me, gave me the fist bump, stopped crying, got up and walked. My daughter was like, what? Ain't nobody could stop him from crying. You just talk to him.
Let me ask you a question.
Give,
When you talk to him, did you get down to his level too?
I do that with all my kids. I try and get up to that level. Sometimes learn from my former child. I try to read when I let them know that they're not just a child, but they do have a sense of reading. So give them a sense of understanding. I always do that.
Hmm.
And this is something I picked up since I was in middle school, high school. I always have a way with kids. I find a way to sit down, talk, or be a place where they can speak their mind and I listen and give some level of guidance. I've done that for a very, very long time. When I have a kid who comes to me talking about how I parent, and I tell them, I'm like, let them tell me the full story and I ask questions. Do you think maybe they could be the reason why your parents acted way because of this? Do you feel like you have some part to play in this? Do you feel like you were responsible? Or I do it in a way whereby I want them to think for themselves and think about their action and see if they have a part. If it's not a part to play, then I can comprehend. I would say, you know what? I get you. We need to understand that as parents, sometimes there's too much pressure on them. They may be a little bit blind to see where they're wrong, but have grace. Somewhere down the line, when you get older, you're gonna be able to point it out and they realize, oh my God, I'm sorry. They may apologize. Some they may not. I'm not saying all parents are the same, but give your parents grace and see if they're doing it for the right way, then they're doing it for the wrong way. I try to give kids the level of insight whereby they need to understand all parents don't have the cheat code. Not all parents have the manual book on how to be a parent.
David, how many kids do you have now?
I have two of my own. I got one stepdaughter who gave me three grandkids. I had nieces and nephews from other family whereby I almost raised them up. Almost. Like I said, when it comes to me and kids, I am a little bit overprotective about kids.
I think that's your weak spot.
It's more than a weak spot because long before I had a kid, I used to date a particular female who had kids. And I was so protective of her kid. And it got to a point, I didn't even realize it, but I got scared because their kid got attached to me. I was more almost like a father figure, even though the father was not even alive. And what bothered me was the fact that I didn't think that that was one of my gifts. So when I saw how some people kid get attached to me because of the aura I give off, I tried to stay away from single parents during my 20s because me being around them, being that person they can talk to, I'll be that person who's trying to help them out with their homework or trying to get them to understand to show them a trick or two how to overcome certain situations so they can get better at it. I remember one time I was in Philadelphia, I had to take my neighbor kids. We go to the park, we have fun, and I did something real funny. I put out like I think it was $50 or no, it was $50. We in the park. I tell you, anyone who can catch me gets the $50. Nah, I enjoyed it because it was a good exercise. And I stayed within the park. But what I did, I made sure all the kids were so worn out and tired they couldn't even catch me. By the time to go home, they were already ready to go to bed. And then mom was like, I could never get my kid to go. I said, no, this is easy. I just understood what to do with a kid and how to make it fun for them. But also get the place whereby they have respect for me. Because even the next day they got married. I bought them ice cream and everything. I said, don't worry, I got you guys covered. They was mad happy. I did the same thing with my former church in Queens. I'll go outside, go to the Chinese restaurant. Give me some small French fry, have some hot sauce and barbecue sauce, right, all over it. I go to the back of the church, trying to eat it quietly, and these young teen will come to me and be like, "Hey, Uncle David, oh, I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on. Well, I'm trying to stop one, another one comes right behind me. Hey, Uncle, I'm watching one, two, three, four, all up in my fries. Come on, Uncle David, you know you love us. I look at their ass like, nigga, please, don't put this on me. And it's funny they gave it away because they know that was who I was. That's who I am. Even the younger ones, oh, Uncle David, can you take me out and buy me something? I think you gotta ask them on permission, right? Their mom knew what I was gonna do. I'm gonna try to hide from their ass. The moment I wanna go and try to hide from them, their mom snitching, telling them where I was. And I'm looking at the mom like, with a straight, like, really? And you know what she was saying? You know these kids love your ass. They're always bugging us so you can take. I'm like, but I can't. Yeah, I do. They love me, but they love my father. They don't worry. They like your kids. I'm like, they're not like my kids. You trying to throw responsibility on my ass. Like, come on, this. And I would do it. Worst kids now have like 8, 10 kids follow me outside. We buy something to eat. They're all happy to get their drink. They're cool. And I was never made it in that church. I was never the Sunday school teacher or anything. I was that one big brother figure that they're always able to
Hmm.
come to for almost anything. But I get more respect from them that they give to this so-called Sunday school teacher that was appointed over them. I was the cool big brother who they can come to for literally anything and they speak their mind without judgment. And I always trying to find a way to give them a sense of reading, like, look at it in this way. I say, how old are you right now? In the next, you gonna be a dad or you gonna be a mom. And it will come to your mind, you start to remember, like, oh, I get it now. So this how it is. Being a father is like going to class all over again. Learning things that you might have overlooked. And when you watch your child grow, it become a teachable lesson. Like, oh, I get it now. I see why this part of this growth is a problem. I see why you need to apply certain unique kind of pressure, but be consistent where they understand where you're coming from. I put my kid on like, don't fight for mediocre. Try to be the best of the best. Give yourself more opportunity to spread your wing and accomplish what you want to accomplish. I'm not saying don't be like your friend, but don't bury your dreams because you don't feel like you're awkward with your friends.
Hmm. No, let me
Every
ask you a
kid
question,
are
David.
always
Like,
different. Go ahead.
I know me and you have things in common, like anime, comic books, stuff like that. Has that
hmm
passed down to your kids at all?
My son picked up the anime part. You just sit down and watch anime together when we was little, and we carry on. It got to a point whereby on the next I used to threaten him. I'm like, you're not allowed to watch this anime before me. I found out I'm wrestling your ass. I'm putting you in the four Nelson. I will put you in the headlock. He said, ah. Then when I did cat, he would try to, oh, it was benign. Like, he knows his sister don't watch anime the way he watch anime. He want to put the blame on her. I'm like, really? You gonna try that one?
Are they into
So
wrestling like you
he's
are too?
heavy on wrestling. My son don't watch wrestling that much with me. My daughter at one point tried to get into wrestling, and she thought about like I think, I'm not sure you ready for wrestling school.
Hmm.
Cause wrestling school
What's
will
going
do
on?
you a little wonder or two. Hey, so believe me, it's not that simple. But I'm always trying to be
Sean, what's
that
going on,
one.
my man?
I try to give him the solid advice without no lies or no hypocrisy. Not trying to hurt their feeling, but get the reality of things.
Oh yeah, you gotta be honest with them and stuff like that. Sean, what's up, my man?
What's going on? How y'all doing today?
Good, good, good.
So what
One
are
at a
y'all
time.
speaking about?
We are talking about, are you ready to be a father? The
Uh,
floor is yours.
nope. I resigned from that position. I don't want to be a
Really?
father no more. I don't want to be a father no more.
Let you do a song for that one.
I ain't a father. I just F a lot. uh, man,
Trust me. Somebody gonna make the song one day. You be laughing like, oh my god, put it into
man,
existence.
for real, for real. Nah, I mean, I am a father, so ready is not something that you are ever. Is something that you learn as you go along. You can feel like you're ready to box and be shadow boxing, be in the gym, but until you get in
Hmm.
that ring and somebody else is throwing punches, you don't know how it's going to turn out. And fatherhood is similar. Once they start getting their own personalities and start and start doing, you don't know what you're going to expect, and they might hit you with something that you just wasn't ready for.
Oh yeah,
hmm
and that's the different. I was saying earlier, if you guys caught what I was saying, that's the difference with the different generations. Like my generation is a little different than yours, and your son or daughter is different than our generation. And you see, like we used to go out play. We might kick the soccer ball and broke a window by accident, but they are so stuck on YouTube and Facebook and their phones. And like, if you try to take it away, they're like, I'm like, whoa, okay, take it back, and never mind. I'm like, no, 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 no. Like they're so glued on the technology. Do you even know how to run and play tag, for example?
Well, what's
No,
interesting? Go ahead,
no,
Dave.
go ahead. No, go ahead. No, you go ahead because I when you mentioned that question, there's so much stuff that ran through my head quick, and I was like, oh, there's some way we can answer this question. You could go ahead, Sean. Go ahead. Don't
Yeah, I
mind me.
mean,
I'm a nerd.
what you just described, that's just the tool that we use versus the tool that they use.
Mhm.
You know, we are playing tag, they are playing Xbox or something, you know, a video game or, you know, something visual. We are using our bodies, they're using their minds. So we can argue which one is better. Of course, we'll lean more towards who we are and what we're used to. But in fairness, their technological abilities are far greater than ours, and that's a very powerful thing. You know, we have STEM programs and things of that nature. Programming is a actual thing, and if we look at it from that angle and hone in and groom it, so to speak, we can help them be profitable in what they are, the same way our parents might have helped us be well off in some of the activities we enjoy doing.
That is factual. Right
Yep.
on the
Go ahead,
buzzer.
David. Your turn.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that because when I was saying there's so many ways you can answer this question, you need to forget that yet we went through different times, but it all depends on the environment that this happened. These both things we have back in our days. Who came out from New York City, especially Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queen, Manhattan, and Alley. We used to have all these football camp, these baseball camp, these volleyball camp, these soccer camp that you do after school or you do during the summer, right? A lot of those programs got teared down over the period of time, depending on what kind of school you put your kid in, right? Okay, we have all the new technology and everything. Sean was correct. But how are the parent addressing it? Are they looking for a opportunity to be more interactive and show them the benefit of taking the new technology to the next level? Why not you be the pioneer to create something that other people didn't expect to happen, right? There's a YouTube channel called Hacksmith. I know a lot of people don't know about that one. These are real nerds that take idea that you may thought out your head as a kid and bring it to a reality of things. They are like engineer, computer nerd, computer whiz, and they have the luxury of just try out all kind of weirdness. Either the coding, either engineering, do things and bring it to life. To imagine you able to do such a thing. I think the problem with a lot of parents, they let the TV raise their kids more. They feel like they're too busy to be more interactive with their kid. I remember
That's where I
my,
was going with this.
I know. Let me tell you why I say that. My son would attest to this. I build computers, right? All his friends from elementary school, when they come in and saw the stuff in my hand, what I was doing in my computer, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Ayeni, you built that computer? Yeah. You want to learn it? I'm not sure. I tell you, anyone can learn it, but you got to be willing to take the time to get into it." I watch these kids come in, watch my huge ass PC, and be like, amazed what you can do. I tell you, I can go a little further, but I need more money to make it go further than that. I share information with them from time to time. You don't have to build a computer, but you could be the next one to build the best video games, right? Y'all like to play games, right? You know how much money these game designer make? Not that throwing
Way too much money.
information. And I say, guess what about here the irony, people don't notice this. A lot of these game designers that work for these big corporations, they retire early. Not that they have too much money in the bank, they have too much stocks all over the place, making money for them. So they just chill and live their lives. So when you start throwing those type of information at them, like that could be you. You can retire before you turn 30 after working for a big tech company designing video game software. All of a sudden, you didn't have too much money to know. I'm not going to travel the world and just chill. Give them a different view of what life can be for them. That pick their instant. And I always do that a lot. Now, my soon to be ex lady, she feel like I'm just act like I know everything, but you don't understand when you work at the tech in different arenas, you're able to be exposed to things that I can take those information that I seen and observed and experienced and bring it and share to these kids. Like, this should be you. You can do this. I could see you be the next CEO. I could see you be the next engineer. I could see you be the next designer of doing this. I could see you be the next. And I do that because either I'm working in a hospital, in a bank, in a PR company, or any type of environment, even though I'm the tech, but it's different from each place. If I see something that unique for a kid would like to get themselves into, I share that information. I pass that piece of information. One kid was asking me, I want to go to this school. I tell you, you know what is required to get there, right? Okay, fine. What are you willing to sacrifice to get yourself prepared to get there? That's what I put him. I had made him think for himself. What do you think will be expected of you if you want to make it? Like you want to make it to the Division One basketball team or the particular college? How much work and effort on not only your practice work but on your grade as well? What do you think you have to limit so it don't hold you back? I let these kids think for themselves because sometimes they don't have someone who can sit down with them and not shove it down their face or you just no. I want you to see for yourself. I want you to paint your own picture. I want you to build your own road, build your own path. What do you want to accomplish? What do you see yourself doing? How are you going to accomplish it? What do you think it will require you to be good at this? What are your weaknesses? And why it is your weakness? Is it because it intimidates you or you're afraid of failing? And I tell them, I fail a lot of things in life. And I take the failure to, you know what? This should be a wake up moment. I have to figure out how to overcome this so I can get better. I said, look at Michael Jordan, LeBron James, your icon. What do you think they do the most to get better? You know, it's not overnight, right? But you can do the same thing too. You know that, right? You want to be good at, you know, you might surpass Michael Jordan or surpass LeBron James if you do way more what they did when they start off. If you conquer the thing earlier before they conquer it at their age. There's always a building point, a threshold that they succeed before they get to the next level. You can beat them at it by doing it much earlier. You know that, right? If you want to do this, what do you think it requires? What are the roadblocks that prevent you from doing that? You think about any way around that? I try to make kids think for themselves and figure out their own path. But not only figure out their own path, but be motivated and hungry for it. I remember I used to work for the Board of Ed. And a teacher told me I could be a motivational speaker. I say, easy said and done. It thing that a lot of these kids come from broken home. I'm not sure they want to listen, but if they're willing to listen, I'm afraid that they might get too attached to me because I don't know if I'm gonna be there long enough to be that voice or reason for them. Now, if it was a job or career, I could stay in that particular place, be that voice or reason. I would do it with pride. I don't care. I'm not getting paid, but at least I have the resource to help people to achieve what they want to achieve, to climb where they want to climb, and be part of who they want to be. Be that one person, be like, nah, don't quit. You can do it. This is you. This is your time, and push them to do that. I've been that way since 13. I don't be fake about what I say, what I do, because to live here than living in Nigeria for 7 years and see promising kids doing things that could never been done, and they're hungry for it. And I see that hunger, and I realize all kids are the same. There's no one different for them, no matter where they go to. It's all about having that rare opportunity to believe that they can actually accomplish it. That nothing can stop them. And once you put that battery behind their back and remind them, it's the only one who can stop you is actually you. You could be your own worst enemy. It can happen, but yet every children are different. It's when they have a strong will or they have a weak will. But it is possible you can change them around, but it's all concerned by who they are surrounded with. You have people you call joint sniffers, and the worst one are your parents. I'll
Let me
say
ask
that again.
you guys a question really fast. Um,
Go ahead.
I don't care who wants to go first. Before you had a kid, what kind of relationship you wanted to have with your child, and what kind of relationship you have now?
Before I have kid, what kind of wrench? Hmm, interesting. Before I had a kid, I was doubting myself. I thought if I'm going to ever be a great dad, because that was the thing that was on my head the most.
Mm.
I would, you would not believe if I tell you this,
Try me.
but I remember in the second grade in Pier 20, and they asked you know how they ask that question? What do you want to do when you grow up? And a lot of kids say, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a police officer. I'm the weird one. I say I want to find a woman that have a good household, have a happy life, be married with some good kid and a great career. Everybody laugh at me. What kid do you know in the second grade would say such a thing?
And not Jerry.
Somebody. Smart ass.
But like I say, I was the weird one because I don't know why I see things too far ahead of my own age. Maybe because I have the level of understanding thing for what it is.
Well, I made a sarcastic remark, but it really lends to actually what was going on. You were you were taught differently from your cultural and your background. So although you were in the second grade, because it was such a value in your culture, you understood it. It was implanted or embedded into you, and so therefore it sounds like a very crazy answer to the average American second grader. It was a very common thing. I'm sure if that question was posed to you in Nigeria, it wouldn't have been so odd if you was amongst your Nigerian peers in elementary school instead of PS20. You was in school in Nigeria because they already would have had these conversations, and that would be commonplace because it was commonplace in your household.
You got a point. Legacy
Mhm.
and birthright, it's always been a conversation among children growing up. In
Right,
African household, if you're the first child and you're given a level of responsibility, you're responsible to lead your siblings in the right direction because what you do, they're gonna pick up from you.
right.
So imagine you put that amount of weight and pressure on the first child. I'm not allowed to fail. I'm not allowed to mess up.
Hmm.
Man. And I thought I got it bad until I started meeting kids from other ethnic groups. People from South Korea, from people from Japan, and I thought I got when I thought they had it worse than I do, and I started to understand it. There's some culture. They put so much pressure on the firstborn that it's almost as if they are not allowed to fail. But not every kid can handle that type of burden. I'm not saying it's bad, but in some place, based on the generation we are in, the kind of kid we are bearing in today's society cannot compare with the kid of the yester generation who was built from a stronger cloth,
Hmm.
who came from a stronger backbone.
Yeah. How they say it, cut from the same cloth. Well, that increase. And so what you're describing is the cloth that you was cut from. And both of you actually probably have a different because you both were raised with a cultural cloth. Whereas me here in America and my family, I didn't have that cultural cloth. I had societal cloth. And it was a big difference. And I understand it a lot better now that I'm an adult. But at the time, there were things that had I had that cultural cloth, I would have approached things and addressed things differently.
And it's fun. I'm glad you said that because I watched a TikTok video that is one lady. She the daughter. She had both her mother and father living together. I don't know if they in the U.S. or in the U. No, I think they're in the U.S. But I don't know where. She do this little study thing whereby she asked her father a question. Her father is Congolese, and one of the question about if your son say that he depressed, how right off the back, the father did there's no such thing depression in our household. Depressed for what? You got time to be depressed. You got time to get things done and get things fixed. What are you depressed? You depressed about being a man? You say I will kick that boy, kick him outside, then bring him back in, take that you can throw that depression out and get back and go to what it's gotta do. But as I watch a lot of the videos, and I'm a Nigerian, but Champagne Congolese, and I start to realize what you would say the cultural cloth. It is embedded. The daughter was laughing. She have a Westernization education, she got a degree, but she doing the video so people can see there's a huge difference how African people address what we deal with on everyday life here, different from how they address it. She had this joke. She did a joke with her father whereby because back then and no closet is very because it's in the closet. Now it went left field. It was comical, but I get what was being said because she almost trying to trip her father, but her father is not really stupid. And the more she do these surveys with the father than with the mother and with both, here the worst one. She tell dad, what if I told you I proposed to my boyfriend? If I look at you do what? Say I will slap you. I will kick that boy and you try to go back on. Now I gotta look for the day. You have to see for yourself because you will laugh. You may end up laughing and crying, but you got to get it. But you said, but dad, do you go on your knee and propose? I didn't propose. And the thing is, as I'm listening and I'm listening, I start to see, I think, you know what? We need more videos of this type. People from different cultures who will showcase their parent mindset compared to the westernization mindset because it's too comical, but it's serious in the same tone because you see their views being painted out across on different subjects they're discussing about. And you cannot help yourself but laugh or be like, hey, I can't argue. But you start to understand it. Hey, coach.
Two in a row.
Whose birthday is it? It's your birthday, grooming?
No, it's David's birthday.
Happy
Oh, happy
Grandpa,
birthday,
birthday,
man.
Dave.
ancient Grandpa
Happy Life Day,
David.
man. For real.
Ugh.
Wow.
Man, go ahead, man. Take it.
Eh,
It's coming.
Virgo. Wow.
Yep. Coach, you want to take over for a minute and see, give me your
What
opinion
what
about fatherhood.
what was the question again?
I'm giving you the floor for a minute. The question is, are you ready to be a father?
Listen, man, I don't think nobody's actually ready to be a father. You know, for the I don't know anybody who actually said, okay. Well, I've heard people say, we want to have children, but until that happens, we do a lot of practicing. We do a lot of practicing. So when we find out, okay, she's with child, okay, now if I'm married, from a married perspective, you like, okay, you preparing early, you going out, you buying baby this and baby that, you trying to stock up on stuff, buying clothes the baby might not even wear, whatever. But single people, for the most part, I don't think they prepare anything about being a father, but I think once the baby's here, I think initially a lot of men want to be a father, whether they had the experience of a father or not. I think initially they want to, you know, even if they say, man, is the baby mine? You might question it like, hold up, man, I just met you 2 months ago and you pregnant. But then I think as it goes on, I think they want to be a part of that. They may not want to be with the woman. And that's where the dilemma comes in for a lot of men because it's a package deal to her. You have to be with both in order to have access to your child. So I think that's where it gets sort of messy for the man because we ain't really have a relationship, but I want to be a father. But if I'm not with the mother of the child, then she might not give me as much access to my child. And we see this play out because we move on, and she's looking at the baby. The baby looked light skinned. The baby got my nose, my lips, you know. So, and she gets madder and madder and angry. I come around, I got my new car, I got my new clothes on and talk about all it. A lot of women, they can't handle that because they have the responsibility of the child. But I don't think most, outside of marriage, I don't think it's planned. But I have a 21-year-old son, and I'm telling him, like, do not have a child out of wedlock. Do not do that because it'll put him in a financial bind for beyond 18 years. It can be 20, 25 years, where he's paying resources outside of his home. So if he does meet a woman within that time, then you're looking at $400 or $500 taken away from your home, and it can cause a lot of stress, and women are sort of vindictive when it comes to other women, and don't have a child with your wife. Your baby mama see that,
Jealousy will
it's a
kick right
lot
in.
of, yeah, it's a lot of gray area in that. So I'm telling young man, listen, don't have a child outside of marriage. Don't do it. And if it has to take you to you in your late 30s, 40s, yeah, but if not, and it's nothing wrong with meeting a woman with a child, but the child has to be damn near still in diapers, barely walking, not at school age. You want to catch a child early where you can impress the child, be impressionable to that child. But I've seen where people, I'm one that when I used to date women with children, I can't have separate relationships. If I'm coming in, I'm like, hey, kid got homework. Hey, son. Hey, little Tyrone, you got homework. I'm promoting, hey, where's his father? I want that relationship to be with the man's father. I'm that type of guy. I'm not afraid for a man to have a relationship with his own child because I had my father. I want that. Yeah, man, go let him see his father for the weekend now, and I can have fun. See, I ain't telling her, but now I can run her, chase her around the house naked. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to teach your son how to play football or shoot basketball. I'm that type of guy. I'm not intimidated by another man and his child, but again, it's always worked for me. I'm that type of guy. I'm checking your child's room. Clean this little nasty, funky room up. But if I don't get that access, if I don't get that, I don't say access, but if I don't get that opportunity to groom the child the way I see it to be a man, then I can't really connect to it. I separate from that quick. I'm not going to be in something like that for years. It might be a few months. And, I'm not going to be trying to whoop your child because I'm trying to teach the child to be better, whether it's socially, emotionally, and academically and physically. I'll challenge your son to do push-ups. I want your daughter to play sports and do something because I know how that promotes healthy relationships for children when they are active outside of the house and in the community with other peers. I'll take your child to practice, but you're going to cook me some dinner too. You're going to give me something, but that's just me. So
I got a question for you, Coach. Is it irony or is it intentional that the picture behind you is of a little child? And is that you or is that a child of yours?
That's me, 1 day old,
Okay.
7 pounds, 9 ounces of me.
All right. I hear that.
You see how I'm sleeping so peacefully? Because I come from married parents. That's the reason. But I wanted to use this picture based off the topic. Like, was my parents prepared for me? I don't think so. I don't think they was ready, but I was here and they loved me. And
let me ask you everybody a question really fast. When you had a child, were you ready to change your lifestyle according to your child's needs?
I was not ready to change my lifestyle. No. But it forces you to change your lifestyle in a sense. I was not ready. I don't think nobody's ready because all children are different. I was a middle child and my parents were more hands off with me. I ain't gonna lie. When I was 16 years old, I could come in the house at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, Saturday night. I could do that. My parents didn't even quit. I used to come in the house when my father was going to work. They like, oh, where you been? Around the corner. Okay. He'll give me a chore to do. Hey, make sure that grass is cut by the time I get home. Okay, so now I got to make a decision. Do I go to sleep or do I cut the grass? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was different, man. My parents were great to me. They got in my tail. By the time I was in the 7th grade, all whoopings were over. I wasn't trying to get in trouble. I wasn't trying to disappoint them. I had friends that sold drugs, that was in the streets. I was still cool and talk to them, but I wanted to play football. I didn't want nothing to stop me from playing football. I didn't want to have to face my daddy, in his lectures, because my mama was going to whoop me. My mama hit me in the jaw when I was like 19, like, just stowed on me because I was doing something. I ran up a calling card. Y'all remember those little calling cards back in. I was mad in the moment, but after the fact, I was like, that was some dumbass shit I was doing, But at certain points, I think and this is where we are in this space with YouTube. I mean, within our culture, if a father would be given access by default to their child, especially during those formative years, a lot of young brothers will be well balanced, will be better off. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be so much chaos. So again, everything is different for everybody. But salute to the mamas and the fathers of my age and generation because they understood the mission.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mr. President?
What's good, gentlemen? Good evening.
Oh, you look tired tonight.
What's up, Mr. Bennett?
I am. I'm still working. See this? This is work. Okay, David.
Wow.
I'm sure you recognize this is my work laptop right here. So
Wow.
as soon as I get off with you guys, I get back on this guy here.
So you take a little study break, in other words.
Kinda.
When you work from home for so long and they chip your laptop and you got to carry your work from home, It's annoying.
Nah, I work in the office 4 days a week. So this is, I come home and because again, we got a release going out at the end of the month. So it's like you get home, you take the dog out, you do whatever, you do a little bit of decompression, then you kind of get back on. So, but I work from remotely on Friday, so I'll be home tomorrow. But yeah, it's been a grinder week. And my weekends, working half of those too. So it's just one of them cycles we in trying to get this release out the door. So
another week and a couple days, in other words.
we'll see, unless they push it out. They already pushed it out a week already. So who knows? But yeah, no one's getting any sleep until this thing gets out the door. So that's the software development life cycle. So hey.
So Paul, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yo.
And
First of all, before you begin, the main reason I came out, in fact, I wasn't even, honestly, I wasn't even going to come on tonight. But certainly when I saw David come on, and also I just wanted to wish him a happy, just personally, just wanted to wish you a happy and blessed birthday. I know you're going through some things or whatever, but praying for you, buddy. And I just wanted to greet you personally on that. So that was really the impetus that I just wanted to greet you while you were on.
So do you have time to answer my question?
I do. I got a few, but I just wanted to start. I just wanted to start there because,
So the topic tonight was, are you ready to be a father?
Yeah.
This is when your opinion, because like I mentioned in the beginning of my stream, there's 4 people that I look up to as a father, as a man, and as a husband, and you're one of them. And we talked about this before in the past on the gray area and on this show and stuff like that, and you know that about that. So I really want to get your input when you hear that.
Again, I think most guys aren't. I know I wasn't. I wanted sex, all right? So, full stop. However, in my values, I couldn't have sex unless I had a wife. And so that was the mission, was to find a wife so I could have sex. It was that simple, guys. So it was a shout out to Boss Man. But now, I say that kind of like simplistic, but it's not, because one thing I would say for sure is that I really think men in general should really consider the woman that you're with before you decide to have kids. I just do. I think if she can't be your wife, I don't think she should be the mother of your kids. That was definitely something, like I said, I wasn't like kids. I was thinking, okay, yeah, maybe down the road. But I had them pond far Vulcan urges, and I was just looking to get satisfied there. So, but I knew I needed a wife, so I wasn't going to marry anybody. I needed a wifely type of woman, and so I spent a lot of time in pursuit of that woman. I wasn't so off kilter to say, hey, I'm just going to marry her, so just do this. So again, who I chose was going to be important, and we had a rule. Because I got married from our first date to marriage was 10 months. I could have married her probably after 2 or 3. I knew I was going to marry her like after 3 months. I knew I was going to marry her. Everything else was just the wedding formalities. Because I could have just went down to Justice of the Peace and be like, look, we can just do this thing and be done with it. But, mom and the fam and whatnot, this is, mom's dream and whatnot. So, yeah, you're going to marry my daughter, correct? I said, all right, fine. So it took 6 months to prepare everything else. So start to finish 10 months. And I was, I had to understand what that meant. All right. So if I need a wife, then I also need to learn what it means to be a husband. And so I spent a lot of time in that process of pursuing a wife, getting around older people who had some wisdom on what it takes to be a husband, especially a godly husband. And I just took all that into account. So, but it was all driven by my desire to have sex. So again, at primary base level was sex, but I had to find a wife and I had to be a husband. And then the rule was 3 years. We were going to be married for 3 years. I don't want to even hear a conversation about having kids, because this is going to be totally about us living as married people for 3 years, not cohabitating. I wasn't going to do the moving in thing. We're not cohabitating. We're not living together. We're going to be married for 3 years. And then after 3 years, if it's good, if it's a go, then we can start the kids conversation. So she was a bit more anxious about it than I was, because she's got the clock to consider. So I understood that. And one time she did try to kind of say, hey, you know, we've been together for a couple years. Can we get started? I said, no, we had a deal, 3 years. We were going to wait until that time and flesh out the details in terms of getting used to one another and our habits and tendencies and proclivities and, you know, living with each other in the raw, getting all of that out. And yes, there was arguments, there was disagreements, there was just that, you know, clash of personalities and things. We had to flesh some things out. And then once I decided to have kids, it was like, okay, we're a little bit older here. So I one thing I also knew is I didn't want to have a 5-year-old and a 20-year-old. I don't want to have a toddler and a freshman in college. I knew that. So we were going to have kids like in rapid succession. So if I would have got the boy-girl split, I probably would have settled on that and I would have been good. But I had 3 daughters. The third child was like the last attempt. We're going to try one more time to have this son. And if it don't happen, then it's over. I'm going to have that third kid. I got snipped and the baby making shop is over. So for me, it was a very pragmatic, very practical, planned endeavor. And I don't think that I'm not saying every guy should do it the way I did it, but I think it certainly raises some questions about, again, the person who you choose, how you move as a man. If you're just going to be acting recklessly, impregnating women, I think those are foolish moves. That'll certainly cost you in the near term and possibly the long term. So again, finding the right one to start having children with, I think, is very important. And I would certainly caution any man to take that in consideration, finding the woman before you consider having the children. Because again, in my tradition, the wife is supposed to be forever. The kids are temporary. You know, Genesis talks about, you know, it's going to come a time they're going to leave and cleave. So they're not even mine. I just guard them. I'm their guardian, but they're going to go off and do their own thing. But the wife is going to be the one who's supposed to stay. I get the 50% divorce rate. I get all the stats. I get all of that. And I'm not certainly downplaying brothers who go through that stuff. I understand relationships are difficult, especially in the West. But those were some guidelines. Those were some parameters with which I worked. So yes, it was a very narrow space, but it gave me clarity. It gave me purpose. It gave me a way of operation that I could commit to. It's like, look, I can do this. So I was willing to talk to 100 women, and I don't care if 99 say no or the criteria. So as I've shared, I wrote a 4-page document on what I wanted in a wife. Guy said he took from the book of Habakkuk, write your vision on tablets and so that the herald can run with it. I took it literally. I wrote, it was a list, what I want in a wife. Just qualities. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to share this, I need to expound. I said I wanted a Christian woman, but I dated a whole bunch of different Christian women. And I was like, look, I need to define what that means, because Christianity is like 31 flavors of Baskin Robbins. You can be Kojic or Catholic or Orthodox or whatever it is. So I needed some clarity on what I meant, you know, what my criteria was, because everyone else defines the criteria. So I said, you know what, I'm going to define my own. And so it became this document. And I gave it to everybody who would listen to me. I'm looking for a wife here. Now, this is just at the dawn of email and at the dawn of internet. You didn't have internet. I think you had message boards and bulletin boards. The internet was just becoming a thing. Most of the internet was like on college campuses or whatnot. So it wasn't even mainstream yet. So I was just so into this thing. I just went to the grind. So I would carry like 20. I had 20 copies of the document at me on all times. And if I ran into like an older, like you guys, your ages, so I said, Coach, you look like a decent, respectable man. You got a lot of experience in things. I'm looking for a young woman to marry. And if you know somebody who fits this profile, There's my number on the document here. Have her call me, and I'll take it from there.
I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because you said earlier you wouldn't recommend. You're not saying that people should do it, and I'm saying yes, what you
Right.
just described was
Hmm.
a pragmatic, practical approach. And are you still married?
Yes, I'm in my 28th season.
And this is part of the reason why is because you had a vision, and we tend to encourage people to have visions and plans for everything else other than
Hmm.
relationships.
Well, let me back you up just a little bit. I'll reiterate. I wanted sex. There was no vision. There was no down the line. I was in the base. I was in Pond 4. We all nerds here. This is Vulcan Pond 4. That 7-year itch. I was going crazy. I became a Christian. I was celibate. I didn't do anything. I didn't even self pleasure myself. I did nothing. I was losing my mind. I did not have the gift of singleness. I
I,
wanted sex.
I hear you, but let me back up for you. Regardless of what your intent, you had the vision was part of how you approached.
Yes, yeah, I would definitely say that. Basically, but it's like there was a need, and but it wasn't so reckless that I
Yeah,
was not going to buck the I wasn't gonna, again, I wasn't gonna act foolishly. That's never been my mode. I had a drive, but I wasn't gonna act foolishly. And so again, like I said, I wasn't going to marry the first one. I wasn't obviously going to have randoms. I wasn't going to do a lot of things. So it became the plan. It's almost like from the standpoint of, yeah, you have a goal and then you work backwards. Okay, how am I going to achieve this? And then I said, okay, well, these things have to be in play and this has to be in this criteria and things like that. And again, I have some people help me out in terms of just general goal setting and, listen to some audio cassettes and CDs and stuff that talk about goal setting and all that, the motivational speakers and things like that. So I was into a lot of that stuff back then. And I took it so seriously that I just went with it. And
right.
I think the boldness with which I operated, I think is also very important for anyone. Like if you're really going after, people talk about I work so hard or whatever. It's like, look, if you want that thing bad enough, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to make yourself a fool? Because
Right.
to go up to someone out the blue and make the pitch that I did, I mean, literally, I would be in restaurants, like sitting at a table with a group of friends or whatever. I saw an older couple. They were like in their 50s or 60s or whatever. Very nice couple. And I would just get up. I would just say, "Excuse me, ma'am, sir. My name is Mr. Bennett, and I'm looking for a wife.
Well,
And I have a document. This is what I want." And again, didn't know how it was going to go, but I was,
minute
yeah.
over the fact that you are downplaying how much of a plan you actually was executing. Maybe you
Oh, yeah,
did,
no. It definitely was a plan. I guess when you said earlier about the vision.
but that's part of the vision was very clear. You
Hmm.
want sex. That was might have been your motivation, but the vision of how you was approaching to get sex is remarkable.
I
And
got you. I got you. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess I like motivation more so than vision. Vision to me, when I hear that, it's always kind of like out there somewhere. You know what I mean?
that's why you
Motivation seems to be almost more the it just seems more in the now. So it's just how I see it. I get everything that you're saying, but it's just when I hear vision, I just think differently about it. I'm not disagreeing with you.
yeah. And I can understand that. That's the wording, but that's why maybe I use plan. But I'm saying that if you were saying the same thing about basketball or computers or a lawyer, it would be remarkable on how it was strategized and executed.
Hmm.
So what I'm saying is, regardless of how we want to word it, Um, what you just described is something that I can't go and gloss over the importance of the strategy and the execution of your strategies, because I say it often this way: people loosely use the word king.
Hmm.
King, kings, and hey, good morning, king. And kings planted and shared their seeds intentionally.
Hmm.
And so, with that definition, you, sir, are a king.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. The other
So
thing I want
go
to
ahead,
add
Paul.
to this as well is, um, because again, it was methodical, all those things that you're talking about. And this is something that, especially, you see it with a lot of people who try to do other things. It doesn't work in all circumstances. What I mean by that is, people say, like, man, if you took that same motivation and plan and put it into business or put it into this or to that, you'd be a billionaire, or whatever it is. I'm saying it may not work in all situations. You have a lot of people who, again, found their passion or found whatever that is, and it doesn't mean that every area of their life has been perfected. You know what I'm saying? It's just some people who are just good. You just know what you're good at, and some people just work there. So I'm not saying that this will work in every circumstance, but you got to, whatever that motivation is or vision or whatever it is, it's got to be to that level. So like your point earlier about basketball, like that's got to be like your number one. Like nothing else matters. Like Michael Jordan, all those guys, Tiger Woods, that was it. There were no outside distractions or anything else. But as we know, with Tiger Woods, he clearly had distractions at some point that was almost his undoing. So I'm just saying that, for certain things, unless you have that light on, that thing that's going to make you get out of your comfort zone, you can't just say, okay, well, I'll do this. If you don't have a heart for something, I don't think it'll work, because I don't think you would just carry that same passion into it.
Well, I agree with you, and that's why. But I disagree with this portion that it
Hmm.
can apply everywhere. Because again, what you're
Yeah.
describing is consistency, focus, and
Mm.
and if you apply that to any of those situations that you have passion about, yes, you will succeed in matters of a Kobe, in matters of a billionaire, if his money is your goal, in matters of whatever it is that you're attempting to achieve.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
So Paul, don't go anywhere. I have a big announcement. I want you to be a part of this. This is
Sure.
a big one. So David, you go first. Oh yeah, big announcement. David, you go first for your final thought. Sean and Coach, you go last, and I'll give my big announcement and a schedule update. You got the floor. Go ahead,
Final
brother.
thought. I like this topic because it's not a simple topic you can just gloss over. This one of the topic when you can have all the fathers come into one building, sit down, and discuss among the younger generation to understand what it's like to be a father. And I would have to 1000% agree with Mr. Paul Bennett. I was no different. I'm sorry. There's a reason why I wanted to get married. I need to unleash the beast. I am dead serious. I'm not gonna lie because I got caught out in my 20s of unleashing it a little bit too early. Meaning I end up creating stalkers. I'm from so Sean will understand this. You can come from New York City and you don't know the art of hit and run. Meaning you not put to spend too much time. But to hit it, get your own run. Hit it and run. I went in and did a marathon. I broke the limit. I broke the speed limit. I measured the thermometer and I left. Not only she was wrecked, she said that I need the same wreckness again and she started chasing my ass. And I didn't understand why I should never done that. So that's why I wanted to be married. So at least when I'm married, she's mine. With me, I can remove all the restraint, and I don't care if I go for hours or day if I have to. But not all marriages are the same. Not all women are the same. So I understand that too. So I have to be careful. I can't dismantle and pay for insurance, so to speak. So it's tough. So now I'm going to a situation. I decided to say my next woman gonna be an African woman who have the stamina for it. Sorry, black lady. I don't say you don't have it, but it's just that I don't got the insurance money to pay. But, but being a father is something very vital. It is sacred. It's a path of manhood, the path of maturity. It's something that we need to bring back to the black community. Start teaching young black men that you have a responsibility. Your last name, your seed is your legacy. It's not so easy to spread around. You're building something with it. I'm telling you, we need to have a confidence on this one a little bit more and start breaking things down much deeper for it because being a father is very special. I don't think people understand it. Lack of father in a household create a chaotic society. If you don't let that sink in, then you miss the big picture. That's my final thought.
Okay, being a father is a responsibility. I learned uh, through an inverse my, of my life made me understand the responsibility that I needed to have when I had. So the absence made me not ever want to be at. But to every point, and this is why, uh, Mr. Bennett, I salute you because it wasn't always planned that way. It came through lustful, you know, came through lustful desire. But when she came, I had to take on the responsibility, and especially the responsibility that I felt I didn't get as a young. So because I didn't start it the right way, it didn't end the right. And I learned through that experience. But being prepared and ready to be a father, you can be if that's what your plan and if that's what you think to do or you're doing it intentionally. I didn't learn that you need to do anything. I learned that you needed to just get your rocks off, or I didn't learn the responsibilities of fatherhood. Although I also inversely learned the responsibilities of a relationship, but I also didn't believe in the institution of marriage. So I would commit to a relationship and be everything that a husband was supposed to be because I saw what a husband wasn't supposed to be through my father early on. But I then reverted and I was blessed to be able to have my mother start me out and have my father finish. So the young boy that my father was when he had me and married my mother wasn't the man that I got to know when I actually was shipped out to live with my father. So it was a blessing that my mother was able to uh, release me or send me to my father when my brother and I both at the same respective age, 13 or 14, was getting out of hand and out of her control. She wasn't prideful enough to embrace the help or demand the help or ask for the help. And my father was mature enough at that point to be there to give them. And so here I am. And what I learned along the way, like I said, is how to be a father. And I'm still learning. not just for any child that I'm expecting to have or anything, but the children that I do have and any children that I come across that I can lend some tutelage, some who that information. Yeah. So that's thank you for
Well, salute to all the fathers out there, man. Young, old, tall, short, light skin, dark skin. Salute to all the fathers, man. I don't know, man. I don't have too much to say about this, man. I enjoy being a father. I take the good, the bad, and the ugly along with it. Am I always the best? No. Am I a little pushy sometimes? Yes. But I think that goes hand in hand with me just being a coach and, working with young people in general. It's something I think I will always do. And if I'm considered a father figure in that role, then I embrace it wholeheartedly. Um, but if you're not a father and you want to be a father, make sure you're very methodical, very intentional in that process. Mr. Bennett gives a great example of, write down your list, your expectations of yourself and the expectations of, your partner in just being active in that, child's life. So, wherever you are, man, I don't know, man. I think one of probably the greatest gift anyone can give to themselves is a child. So again, man, if you want to be in that life of a father, then again, learn as much as you can before you go into it. There are certain things you can read about just on how to care for the child, whether you had that type of love in your life or not. It doesn't have to spill over into your gene. So just be intentional about the process. Make sure you choose correctly, and don't have no children out of wedlock. It's not the same as it was 20 years ago. So, other than that, man, look, salute to all the fathers, the stepfathers, anybody with children, and the ones who are really dedicated to being the best parent for their child, man. So, salute to y'all. That's all I got.
All right. So I'm not gonna leave a final thought because you guys did a great job. Paul, do you have anything else to say before I go? I'm sorry, I missed you. Okay.
Nah, that's what's going on. Go ahead.
For a while, when I started this channel, I started grooming. I had a long beard, long hair. As much as I love doing that stuff, I enjoy doing these talks more, these debates, these conversations. Like tonight, the Spartan Arena. That's why I named it. So anything can go. We can talk about anything. The hangout on Saturday. Me and Paul Shaw, the Agraria. Now we're gonna have another show coming soon. Me and David, and so on. So grooming reviews is not adding up to me anymore. I know I changed it at first when I first started because I wasn't sure what direction I still wasn't sure till now. Starting today, after today, the channel is being called the Spartan HQ Network from today on. It's something I've been working on very long. I put a lot of time and effort. CQ helped me out with this. I know I mentioned to Paul a little bit. David, I had a lot of feedback. We're adding more channels. We're going to be adding more shows to the channel. It's going to be a network. Again, I got to take my hat off to BMU. He came into the idea. And hopefully you still continue, with our journey. This is a journey. This is an experience I'm sharing with all you guys. With gray hairs every day, because the damn thing doesn't want to fucking work half the times. But my point is trying to get to you guys. Grooming reviews is dead, but the new journey of our life is Spartan HQ Network. We'll continue being here every day at 9:30. On those days, we're adding another channel. We're gonna add more things. I'm working on behind the scenes, a lot of stuff coming. Remember, guys, Comic-Con's coming out. Me and Paul are gonna be there. Come get our autographs from Mr. President. He's gonna love to sign his autographs. So, schedule update out before I do that in 3, 2, 1, and it went public now. So I'm sorry.
Congratulations.
Salute.
Yeah. I will be updating everything slowly. It just takes a lot of time to update everything. Didn't realize how much more work is to update than to actually create it. So let's do a schedule update that I think Sean is gonna like. Two of my new shows coming up. I think he's gonna be excited for one of them actually, and he definitely is gonna be here. And I think you want to co-stream on that one, by the way. So the schedule update. On Saturday we will be talking about the Legend of the Caribbeans. Next Thursday, did you have a childhood? The week and Saturday the 28th, we're talking about my favorite topic, war movies. Oh, I cannot wait for that one. I'm very excited for that one. And for you, Sean, is the sound of our lives. How music made a difference. I know you're definitely, that's your department right there. So, except that, guys. Anything else anybody want to say before we hit the road here?
Yes.
Just once again, again, David, happy birthday, and I just hope that again, many more years of happiness, and that you find a blessing in all your future endeavors.
Yeah. And that was my last. And
So,
anymore.
David, again, happy birthday. You're old shit. I hope you enjoy the gray hairs coming in. So soon you'll be looking like me. So except that
You could join the B7 network. You see these brothers here. So you could join the bold and the beautiful, the beneficent, benevolent ball brotherhood.
Oh, by the way, Jets won the game tonight. So
yes, we know. Well, look, I picked the Jets to win the AFC East. At the beginning of go back to the one-on-one sports show Wednesdays on the BMU network. Go back a couple of weeks. I picked the Jets to win the division. So I think Aaron Rodgers, is the difference. And, he's certainly starting to come into his own now. So, again, everybody needs to be.
Honestly, going into the game, I did not think they were going to win this game because the Patriots are a hard team to win.
Yeah, but it's different era. This isn't the Belichick era. They're rebuilding. They brought their new rookie quarterback in, so they're starting over. But my thing is, if he can stay healthy, the Jets are a live dog. They already had a good defense team already, and I just thought that they'd be alive against any team once Aaron Rodgers got going, and it looks like they're starting to dial that in. So
hey, as long as the Eagles lose, I'm happy. I can't stand Eagles fans. So, except that, as always, I am grooming. I can't say that anymore. I am the Ghost of Sparta of the Spartan HQ network. He is Black David, Sean, Coach, and of course, Mr. President Paul. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on another one.
Take care, guys.